Topic number 30 for RPGaDay 2018 has drawn a bit of discussion online, particularly on Twitter, as to what the question is actually asking. That's because the question reads, share something that you learned about playing your character. And the two ways that people are interpreting that is, one, share something that you learned about playing your character, and the other, share something that you learned about while playing your character, right? So the first one is to share something that you learned about playing your character, about the act of playing your character. And the second one is more of a, what's something besides your character, besides RPGs, that you learned about because you were playing that character. I'm going to split the difference, and even though I feel like it's something that you learned about while playing your character, I'm going to do both. So something that I learned about playing my character is that my characters surprise me, because over the years I have begun to realize that it doesn't matter what I have planned for a character, that the story is going to change that person, and they're going to evolve, and they're going to grow in ways that I did not anticipate. And I know that's kind of obvious when it comes to RPGs, that the story and the dice and stuff are going to change things, but when you first start messing with role-playing, you kind of assume that the edgelord elf rogue you make is going to stay kind of a badass edgelord elf rogue. You don't really expect them to gain completely new aspects to their character and leave that edgelordiness behind. You don't expect that your arrogant elven wizard who's aloof and snobby is going to have a few run-ins in Princes of the Apocalypse and become a more caring, giving person who gives to charity and who writes books because he wants to educate other people and stuff like that. The character started out as, my goal is to spread magic, and the easiest way to do that is to educate the already intellectual people on the ways of magic, because he was a wizard and magic was something that took years of study and mental focus for him. So of course, the people that he wanted to teach magic to, he wasn't just going to teach anyone. He wanted someone who was going to have the mental intellect to handle it, and the focus to stick to it and to learn it. But as the campaign went on, he realized that by writing books and sharing his adventures and talking about his experiences and sharing some of the smaller spells and stuff that he had learned with everyone, that's what was making the world a better place. So the thing that I learned about playing my character is that I may have a path designed for them, but that I need to be aware that that person is going to grow, and sometimes in directions that are not necessarily along that path, and that I should be open to them. To share something that I learned about while playing my character, well, there's lots of those. Everything from Photoshop and broadcasting software that I use for actually playing my characters during streams and stuff like that. But I've also learned all sorts of little neat things, like Choctaw Native American words for emotions, because my half-orc rogue is named after the Choctaw word for the actual emotion of surprise, right? I thought I'd be witty. But I went ahead and made all of the NPCs in my tribe and in my background be other Choctaw words, because I thought they sounded very orky and very fitting. And so at 1 o'clock in the morning, when I'm writing out character details, I'm spelunking through the depths of the internet and watching, videos from the Choctaw Nation's YouTube channel to learn the absolute correct pronunciation of words of a language that I would otherwise not have messed with at all. And I just think that that's cool, that there's little things like that some minor aspect of a character that you design for some silly game can lead you to learning real world skills or information, or teach you about books you wouldn't have otherwise read, or stories, or music. You make one bard and suddenly you're trying to come up with witty rhymes, and next thing you know, you're delving through the depths of 14th century poetry because you want to be that guy who rhymes every vicious mockery insult and enjoys it. So that's my answer for both sides. One, learning about the way that a character progresses despite your plans for their progression. And two, all the interesting little tidbits that you pick up just as you are trying to flesh out your character and make them seem more real, add more to their background and to their mannerisms. You pick up all sorts of neat little bits and pieces of skills and random tidbits and historical facts. So, looking forward to catching you all in the final episode of RPGaDay 2018.